everyone. Welcome to another video. My name is Tracy Garner. I am trying to get my finances straight, and I want to invite you to join me. Stay tuned. So I have decided to do a number of videos talking about my financial journey. And the first thing that I wanted to start with, I'm going to talk about the goal setting part and how I manage the goals and what some of those goals are. I'm going to be trying to be as transparent as I can about my situation. I'm a mid 40-something-year-old woman. I have a disability and I use a wheelchair. I'm also a busy author and speaker, and I do private writing coaching, helping people to finish their books and release them into the world for people to consume. I have a full-time job as a case manager for a nonprofit that I tremendously enjoy, even though there are days that I question my resolve to keep going. But I have a neuromuscular disease that causes me to use a wheelchair. And I actually wrote about that in a book that is coming out this month. So I'm so excited. It's my 15th book. I am still a very low-level author. I am not where I want to be, and that's okay. I still love writing. It's a wonderful thing. I'm not doing it for the money, obviously, but I enjoy it so much. So that's a little bit about me. What I wanted to talk about today is to just get into the background of why and the impetus behind changing your financial situation, why I changed mine, why I wanted to, and why I wanted to come on here and talk about it. I've always wanted to start my YouTube channel. I've had various stops and starts for it, but I've made a commitment this 2022 that I'm going to finally do it. So I hope that I can talk in segments and series. That will be my goal. And sometimes you won't hear from me. That could be because I'm just not interested right now, but it also could be because of chronic condition is kicking my butt at the moment and I need some downtime, but I will be back, I hope. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was just kind of where I've been and also thinking about my background. My own family, I had an upbringing where someone in my family was a spender and another person was a saver. So those were my parents. One was just kind of get whatever they want, and they always like, no, you should save money and stop doing that. And so some of the wake-up calls for me, and I actually don't think your background has as much bearing as people think. I think that certainly influential in who you are today, but you just can't use that, when you get past a certain age. I think that at some point, however you started out, you just have to take responsibility for where you are right now and learn from that and just decide who do you want to be, where do you want to go, and those early influences really can't continue to have a hold on you and how you direct your own life. So I lean more towards the spending part. One of the things I'll also say is that people never talk about is, as a person with a disability who used to be on Social Security in my college years before I got a good job and was working full time. I've always been working since I was 16, but one of the things is that you just can't make enough money on Social Security, and you have to have real ambition, real desire to get from under that and try to make it, or at least try to work for 20 to 25 years and then go on it, because the working part will make such a big difference on the amount that you're going to get in your monthly benefit. And it's once a month. And so I've had a number of jobs. I've been working since I was 16. I really never talked to anybody about saving money. And also what I mentioned, the disability part is I never thought that I would live long enough to realize retirement. And as I get closer, I'm like, wow, you're still here. I think you should do something to think about retirement. So that's kind of where I am. When you get a prognosis from the doctor and everything looks so dismal, you really lack sometimes in your own mind that you should save and that you're going to be here probably longer than you think. Modern advances, medical advances, technology, your own drive and determination. I have a very purposeful, filled life with writing and speaking and teaching. And so you never know how that is going to prolong your life. And you really don't know what God is going to do for you to make you live longer than you think and longer than others thought you would think. So I encourage anyone who has a disability or thinks that, life is, you don't have any time, that you need to be thinking ahead and that you need to be planning ahead, to plan ahead and act like you're going to be here for a really long time. And even if you aren't, leave something. So I hope to leave something to my nephew, just to help them, whatever they want to do. That's who I'm also thinking about. I don't have any children of my own. So, just get a new mindset, renew your mind and transform your mind about, long-term investments, about funding, about what you're going to do, about illness. If something should befall you, we all need to be thinking about that. My second issue was that I remember having, when one of my parents passed away, not being able to afford something that I really wanted for them. Yes, they were deceased, but there were so many expenses that you don't think about. And I was an adult and I still could not contribute, and that hurt. And so that was also a motivating factor to say, do something, do something for your family, help out your other remaining parent, help them financially pay for all this stuff. Because the other thing is that a lot of the money, whether they have insurances, person needs to be buried like in a week, in 2 weeks. This is not, sitting around being James Brown, being buried, 6 months later because of all this financial fallout. People need to have those services. People need closure. And so, you have to front that money often in order to pay for those things. And then the third thing was that I'm hoping to write a book about caregiving. And a friend of mine passed away, my best friend. I still am so bereft, and it's been 3 years over their passing. I wish I could talk to them all the time, but their family wasn't originally going to do a funeral for them. And me and her other friend were devastated. We were like, how is this even happening? One of the issues that people with disabilities sometimes have, and just me, I have it. I need to just use the word I and stop generalizing. But I have, a fear and, a thought that, did your life count? Did your life mean anything? And while a funeral is an outward profession of people showing up and saying wonderful accolades for you, so sometimes you want that to happen because it is a signal also that that person mattered. If we all just left and they were just cremated and that's it, and the family didn't have any outward expression of what this person meant, that just really made me so angry. And so me and my friend ended up having to foot the bill for a few different things. To, a lot of stuff was donated. I couldn't even believe when I went and got their programs done. The people at the print shop were like, tell me about this person that you did this for. And they ended up giving me the 100 programs for free. And so, I just took that as a sign that, we can do it. We will make it happen. Me and my friend and her brother put the funeral together, but the dad and other people involved did absolutely nothing. They didn't even get up and say anything. And I understand people don't have the words. I understand people are grieving. I understand that the person that died is not even there to even know that you flaked out. But just the financial aspect of being able to do that for my friend was such a huge, it was almost very empowering. Me and my friend, we even talk about that. We did that. We pulled it together. We got it together. We, made a nice service. It was still a small little service. It didn't cost anything hardly, but it was just knowing that, that we were able to do that. And we wanted to show that they mattered to us. We couldn't let it go like that. Just to be simple, you are not going out like this, This is not who I am, coming from the background that I came from, where funerals are very elaborate and just major affairs. And I understand it's a lot of pomp and circumstance, a lot of grandstanding, a lot of projection and performance. But for us, it was about, this is how we honor our friend. There was none of that we felt. It was just, how can you go out like that? You're not going, it is not finna go down like this. So those are some of the wake up calls that I've had in my personal life. I am not blaming anyone. I am sad that is, but I also had to come to terms with, maybe they didn't have the bandwidth. They don't know what they're doing. One of the parents was deceased. So I think that if that parent had been alive, they would have done something. And the other parent had their own medical issues and was a war veteran. And so I just think that all of that kind of just made them kind of just trip out. Maybe they hadn't processed their grief yet. So make no mistake, I'm not blaming the person, but I'm saying that that was another motivating factor to get my finances in order to help and, help pay for some of this stuff and not feel so bad, as opposed to the other funeral for my father, when I felt like I couldn't contribute much of anything. I really tuned out when that happened. And so, retail, another thing related to disability is just appearance. Always spending funds for my own appearance, buying clothes to help me look better. Sometimes trying to hide the appearance of disability. It's like, well, I might be disabled, but I don't have to look it, and whatever that means. I'm saying look it for me. I'm not saying that there's a certain way that you look it, but I just wanted to have everything. I had to buy really expensive shoes that were really wide and make sure that everything just looked right, tuck this in, get my caregivers to really also take care of my appearance, because I wanted to take care of my appearance. So all of that contributed to financial issues and overspending. Those that I look back now were such huge issues in my life. And now that, so many people are working from home, I'm working from home going on 2 years now. And it's like, you don't even need all that stuff. You don't even wear half the stuff that you wear. You can downsize, you can sell it. You can get rid of it. We have people just go online and schedule a pickup all the time for some of the local thrift stores, the Salvation Army, Purple Heart. Get rid of that stuff to make you feel better, and just to show you, like, golly, I just wasted all of this trying to keep up appearances, and try to present and put forth an image that comes more from talking and articulating than it does from physical appearance. But that always resonated with me. If I have a disability, it's not going to affect how I look and how I sound. It's just going to be in the background, something that I have to deal with. So when you get ready to start your financial journey or want to turn around your financial things, Kamiko Love from The Budget Mom always talks about your why. And I just covered some of the whys of my finances. I don't have children. Her child, James, is her why, doing everything from him, and that's great. So my why were just the things that I mentioned, and really studying those background influences as to what brought you here. I think it's important, again, but it can't be something that you use like a crutch, for the rest of your life, to say, and another thing that I had too was just the sheer amount of medical bills. I've had 3 separate surgeries. My first one was at 13 for spinal fusion surgery. I have rods in my back. The next one, I got a kidney stone. There's that. And then, you miss money, you miss work. I've had colon surgery. All of these things I feel are related to disability, expensive wheelchair repair bills. My van that costs an enormous amount of money, and then the repairs for it. Feels like I have 2 vehicles sometimes, one with the modifications and one just the regular maintenance and upkeep of an aging vehicle. And so sometimes that resentment also plays a role in your need to shop and spend money in order to feel better. Like you got, wiped out getting a new part on your chair, 900 unexpected dollars. And well, I'm just going to eat out, order Grubhub, DoorDash. Those were my friends during lockdown. Somebody coming to my door to bring me a treat or bring me something, those just became real issues. And so I recognize too, what are my triggers? Triggers are a big thing. Feelings of loneliness or isolation, feeling hungry, like, well, I can't cook as much as I used to. Let me just order something and be done with it. Instead of really trying, getting things arranged, I tried to do Instacart a little bit more. So if I was going to spend something, at least I'd have something for several days. How can you mitigate your triggers, and how can you find things that are fun and give you a little bit of soothing and still save your money? So looking out for your triggers is another important thing to think about and to be aware of. Those are the things for me. And then finally, a why is just leaving a legacy that I mentioned for my nephew. He probably won't need it, but it will be nice. I'm sure he won't need it, but it would be still nice to know that that was left. And when they get older, when they're 30 and they own 20 shares of Amazon stock, it'll be like, Aunt Tracy did that. So, and when Aunt Tracy's gone, it'll still be there, and hopefully they won't whittle it away and spend it on drugs. But my point is that you have to think about these things. All of these things that you think about will help you create a plan and really get to know yourself and mitigate fallout from whatever those things are that set you off and set you into a spending frenzy. So I hope this has been helpful. Be sure to watch the rest of the series, subscribe to my channel, and I'm hoping to do a giveaway soon. I want to get to 1,000 followers at least. It's not that many, but you see where I'm at right now, and I hope that this will be beneficial. Be sure to check out the other series that we are doing and that I will be publishing soon. And thanks so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you took some notes, and I hope you are ready to go with me on my financial journey to watch Tracy get a life, get a budget, and get it together. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.